All right, today I'm testing out this rod. This is a rod that I bought. It was about $50 on eBay. Sometimes it's on Amazon. It's on AliExpress. It's a cheap Chinese rod. It's a pocket rod. I think it's about 11 or 12 inches long. It says 12 feet or 360 centimeters. I measured it at home. It's about 11 and a half feet, so a little bit less than that. And it says that the rod action is 6'4". Let's test it out. I bought it just because it's super cheap. Again, $50, and I was interested in how it worked. Wanted to see if it was any good. If so, I figured it's something I could just leave in my car and not worry too much about. It is the Maxcatch Mini Tenkara rod. And I'll put a couple links up to eBay and Amazon and AliExpress and other places to show you where you can get it if you're interested. And I'm on a new creek here. It's a beautiful, very clear stream. Let's see how it goes. So my approach here is gonna be to give you some initial impressions as I initially cast the rod and as I catch my first fish or two. But then I'm not going to give you the my final thoughts until I've used it for a little while, until I've used it for a full fishing session. Okay, I believe this stream has brown trout in it. So I have a 12-foot line on here. Initial impressions. Well, it feels heavy and stiff. It does not feel like a premium rod. And when I say that a rod feels heavy, that doesn't mean that it necessarily is heavy. Right? Like, you can have a rod that weighs more than another rod, but it's all about how the rod is balanced. So how does it feel? And this one feels heavy. It feels tip heavy. It doesn't feel super well balanced. But, I mean, obviously it's workable. I'm fishing with it. Yeah, it feels like a $50 Tenkara rod. Fish on. That is indeed a brown trout. And the rod tip is stuck. Let's just leave that hanging there while we deal with the fish. All right, that's a nice 10 or 11 inch brown trout. The rod handled the fish just fine. You know, it's a pretty stiff rod, so it can handle a fish well, and my fly is stuck. All right, let me tie a new fly on here. Got one. Hope it stays on so my fly doesn't... There we go. I was gonna say, I hope the fish stays on so the fly doesn't get rocketed into the tree above me here. Another brown trout. Got one. Fish number 3. Yet another brown trout, and off he goes. I don't have a name yet for the fly that I'm using, but I will put a picture of it here. And I'm using the Leprechaun Shetland Spindrift yarn, which you can buy at flytyingyarn.com, which is my website. Got one. Oh, and it came off. That one was hanging out just underneath the tree branch right there. Got him. Oh, fish on, but there are bushes in the way. There we go. Fish on. So I'm not catching huge fish. They're, you know, 8-9 inches, but that's solid. Got one. Saw that one. Go for it. Got one. Oh, had one. And my fly that I just put on is now in the tree. Got one. Okay. Basically the same spot as that last one that I lost. Might even be the same fish. Got one. Got one. Some of these catches today, or some of these lands rather, aren't very pretty. I apologize for that. Got one. Come on. Come on. There it is. A little bit bigger than average, maybe. Got one. Oh, and he came off. I almost had that one in the net. That was so close. Come on. Ow. Okay. This will be the last fish of the day. This is fish number 15. Fish for maybe an hour and a half. Let him go. So 15 fish in an hour and a half. How do I feel about the rod? Not super positive. I've been thinking the best way to describe it, and it's like fishing with a blunt instrument instead of a fine precision instrument. Like, it works. Obviously I can catch fish with it, I can cast with it, but it's not especially enjoyable. If you have an exactly $50 budget for a Tenkara rod, and there's no way you can save an extra 50 to get a Dragon Tail Shadowfire 365, which is a way better rod, then I guess sure, get this. But I mean, it's cool because it's so small, and like, if you really need a super small rod and don't want to spend more money for one by Tanuki, like if you don't want to get the Tanuki Pocket Ninja, or if you don't want to get the Nissin Pocket Mini, or what is that $500 red one, it's like Tenryu Furaibo or something like that. Those are both Japanese rods, and the Tanuki one is an American one made in China, but those are, from what I understand, much better rods, but you're going to pay for those. Basically any Tenkara rod that you buy from any of the main companies will be better than this rod. It's not a great rod, but for $50, if you really need a compact rod for whatever reason and your budget is $50, then I mean, sure, you can catch fish with it. It's just not a pleasure to use, if that makes sense. It's stiff, it's heavy, it doesn't cast particularly well. It lands fish just fine, it fights fish just fine. Don't think there was a problem there. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hope it was helpful and entertaining. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've got this rod. I'm sure some of you out there do, so let me know your thoughts on it. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.